All right, guys, I'm back here in the studio. Just walked off the football field. Shot a high school football game, Pennsylvania High School State Playoffs. Shot it with the A99 II and the 70-400 G2 lens, variable aperture f4 to f5.6. I used that, just to get a little extra reach. Not using a crop sensor, using a full frame sensor in this camera. So went with this lens instead of the 7200, which I do use a lot. I was using it a lot on my A6300. First thing I can say, that the focusing in this camera seems like it's awesome. Locks on quick, focuses fast, and then the camera just fires away. The buffer seems great. You can review the images while it's still writing. That's a nice new feature. Seems like the extra processing power. Seems like it was a very smart move. All right, very happy with it. So, general performance seemed great. It's a little more responsive than shooting, definitely more responsive than shooting with the A7R2 in that situation. These stadiums, they're not NFL stadiums, so the lighting's not great. The A6300, I shot all season with it, was very happy with it. So I'm very interested to see what kind of files I get off of this camera. During the game, I took a couple off and I did post them on Twitter. Right here's my Twitter link or Twitter handle. You can see that. And there I just used the Wi-Fi capabilities, which work perfectly in this camera, just like they do on all the other Sony cameras. Shot it to my phone, just did a quick edit and posted it. So they seem to look good. I'm anxious to get them on the computer and see what they look like and see how and mess around with them a little bit. I tried to push the camera a little bit. I was shooting at shutter speed 1/800ths of a second most of the night, and I was trying to go ahead and crank up the ISO just to kind of test the low light performance a little bit. Normally I'll shoot these games at 6400. That's what I usually shoot with the A6300. The APS-C camera, mirrorless camera, and those files are usually pretty darn good. So I tried to push it a little bit more, took it up to ISO 10,000, ISO 12,800. That's really about the limit of, if I can get a nice a usable file out of 12,800, I'll be happy, because I think that would suit just about any situation, at least concerning sports, indoor, outdoor, that you're going to encounter. So if that turns out good, I'll be happy. I'm anxious to see the files, see how manageable the noise is, how much how much you're able to clean it up. So overall, I tried, like I said, I tried to push the camera, tried to test its low light capability, shooting sports at night, fast action, and again, the focusing was really good. I was using the expandable flexible spot. Just moving it around using the joystick, which I have to say that was easier, much easier to move the points around to using the smaller mirrorless cameras, the 6300 and the A7R2. Those cameras are great, and them being small is great, but the buttons are tiny, and especially when it's cold, and I wore gloves all night to shoot this, so having that the joystick worked really well. So the handling, the bigger buttons, the joystick, moving those focus points around, I have to say, that was an advantage of this camera to the other mirrorless cameras that I've been using. I don't shoot a lot on that on the wide mode where you just kind of let the camera lock onto anything at once. It does that fast, but in a football situation, you never know what it's going to lock onto. Usually, it's going to pick the closest player, but that's not always what you want. So I like to use just the flexible spot, move it around, and it seemed to work great. I was really happy with the focusing, really happy with the frame rate. Everything was great. Camera performed awesome. It was a cold night out there, so happy so far. I'm really anxious to see the files. So when I get a chance to put them on the computer here and take a look at them, I'll get them out and let you guys see them. All right, thanks. See ya.